Kenya versus Namibia player ratings. How did Harambee Stars players perform in lackluster draw with Brave Warriors? So yes, we're going to be looking at the article by Pulse Sports, as well as giving my own opinions when it comes to the player ratings following the goalless draw. We'll also mention just a little bit about Engin Firat, and could that be his last game? So welcome back to Alpha Football, Kenya's biggest football channel, and yes, we're going to be talking about the goalless draw, Kenya versus Namibia. This was the last game for Group J, for Harambee Stars rather, in Group J in the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Both teams were unable to qualify for the tournament, and they knew this ahead of this game, so it was tipped to be a very disappointing game, and it did not disappoint. You see what I did there when it came to that, because at times you can have a goalless draw that's pretty entertaining, and this one was nothing close to it. So it was actually interesting that Pulse Sports did a player rating, and we're going to be looking at that because some of them were interesting, some of them were shocking. The highest player was rated 7 as per Pulse Sports, and the lowest was 3. And speaking of, we also wanted to discuss slightly about Engin Firat. Could that be his final game? He looked to be really, well, he looked pretty different. He was chilled, composed. So we had the second assistant coach on the touchline instead of Engin Firat. He's normally a very lively, up and down figure when it comes to these international games. Usually, either talking to the fourth official or something of the sort, or even just talking to the players. But this wasn't the case in the last game, and so people were wondering whether this could be his final game. So player ratings. In goal, we had Byron Omondi. He had a player rating of 7. Arguably Kenya's best player, although he did not have much to do. His distribution was a joy to behold, as was his calmness and composure, as illustrated in the 82nd minute when he nonchalantly bypassed a press from a Namibia attacker. Also made a vital save to deny Vitapi Garuka's long-range effort in the 56th minute. So in my opinion, 7 seems okay. I would also put like 6 or 7 because he didn't have much to do. But yes, he was pretty composed at the back. His distribution was also very, very good, as was his communication. One of the commentators actually said how both goalkeepers were very vocal, and so that was actually good to see. So centre-back Johnson Omurwa, 7 as per Pulse Sports. I would put him at a 6. Maybe even 5.5. Generally looked solid throughout and was accurate with a majority of his passing. He was also a threat from set pieces on multiple occasions. So he had several opportunities, but he just missed. He just missed like a couple of good headers. So centre back Daniel Anyembe, 6 seems fair. Maybe even a 5.5 or 5 flat, but stepping in at centre-back in the absence of Joseph Okumu, Anyembe was quieter of the two centre-backs and did not have a particularly outstanding display. Rooney Onyango would probably be a 4 or 5 because he also did really, he was giving a lot of missed passes. By the way, if you watch that game, you'd see he gave a lot of missed passes. Some were very simple, some could have led to even chances. So Pulse Sports rate him at 6. I mean, that's okay. Starting in his preferred right-back role, Onyango overlapped Duke Aboye when he drifted narrow on multiple occasions and provided a dynamism and width from that flank, although it was a fairly okay performance from the Gor Mahia man. Left-back Eric Otieno rated 6. I would put him at 7. Probably one of the best players from Harambee Stars. He provided really good crosses. Some of them were missed by Alfred Scriven, also Johnson Omorwa, but Eric Marcelo Otieno was actually the busier of the two fullbacks on the afternoon. He paced up and down the flank and tried cutting inside on multiple occasions. Whenever he lacked the room, he needed to try and run with the ball down the left flank. It was a generally okay-ish performance from the Poland-based wingback. And when it comes to the centre midfielders, for me, I agree, 6 for both of them, both Anthony Akumu and Richard Odada. The captain of the day, Anthony Akumu, also did not have an outstanding display, generally recycling the ball in the half-back role. And the commentators were also confused with where Richard Odada was actually playing. Worked tirelessly in a box-to-box role. On occasions, he dropped deep to aid the build-up, and on other occasions tried to create overloads in the opposition box, but it was another ordinary performance. The right midfielder Duke Aboye, I'd put him at 5, Pulse put him at 4, because I'd put him at 5 because he really tried. He really tried. He was the one who was actually pretty active. Unfortunately, he had poor decision making Especially even there's ones that he cut in properly, then took the shot completely off target. So struggled as a right winger. He constantly was careless in possession and looked lost playing outside of his preferred attacking midfield position. Seems okay, 5 seems okay for Austin Odhiambo. I agree with that. Handed a second start in senior national team colours, Austin tried to make himself available to receive possession at every opportunity, but he struggled to find room to spray those killer balls he enjoys executing, given how compact Namibia were. Left midfield John Avire, I'll put him at 6 by the way, showed a lot of endeavour with his willingness to show great aggression and desire, but struggled to beat his man on several occasions before being subbed off for Daniel Sakari. So Alfred Scriven was rated 3 by Pulse Sports, and honestly that seems okay. He started really well, he played really poorly, to be honest. There's one situation whereby he was given a really good ball. Instead of driving further, he decided to turn back and play the ball to the midfield. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence or what, but starting as a centre forward for the day, he struggled and fed off scraps before being replaced by Jonah Ayunga. We're going to be looking at the substitutions. Let's start with Jonah Ayunga, by the way, because as per Pulse Sports, they did not give a rating because it was brought on for Alfred Scriven but did not have much to do. Another player they weren't able to rate was Abud Omar, was brought on stoppage time, did not have a touch of the ball. Another player that was not rated was Marvin Nabuire, came on for his senior international debut with the main side, but never proved effective with the few minutes he was given on the pitch. So Daniel Sakari had a player rating of 6. He came on, he replaced John Avire by the way. Came on and tried to speed things up as a right winger, occupying those half spaces, despite it being an unorthodox position for him. But it was not enough to influence the outcome of the game. So yes, Kenya versus Namibia that went down on the 19th of November. The final Group J game for Harambee Stars. A goalless draw, and those were the player ratings as per Pulse Sports. I've also shared my opinion when it came to that game and the ratings. And we turn our focus to the next challenge. So yes, that's been it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Do make sure to check out our other social media platforms at Alphabet Laughable. Do like this video and remember to subscribe to Kenya's biggest football channel. If you didn't check out that game, Kenya versus Namibia, you can check out what our prediction was by clicking the video. And as always, support Kenyan football. We out.